Hi, I'm Regina Davis.
And I'm Patrick Coleman. Welcome
to Entrepreneurship, Wisdom to Wealth. Marcus actually is in the room. He's our videographer, and we have Cynthia, who's our assistant, like on the set here. And then this is Patrick, our co-host.
Good evening.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah. So good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful.
So where are you right now?
I am in the process of heading to Fox Lake.
Okay. Fox Lake. Where is that?
It's like an hour and 30 minutes out of Chicago.
Okay. Cooking? Are you going to go
Yes,
cooking?
I will be cooking tonight.
I wish I could come. Okay.
Join us.
I will, yeah. It'll be several hours. It'll be breakfast by the time I get there, right? Think we're just setting up a little bit? Okay, so are we ready? So actually, I have an icebreaker for you.
Oh, cool.
So if you're stuck on an island for 5 months and you can have only one meal, what would you choose and why?
So was the question, if I'm stuck on an island for 5 months and can only choose one food, what would I choose and why?
Yes.
Okay. If I was stuck on an island, I would choose mangoes.
Okay. Welcome to Entrepreneurship, Wisdom to Wealth. This is our chef, Chanel.
Hi.
Yes. So first of all, thank you for actually joining us. I know that you're pretty busy. You're actually on the road often, traveling and cooking for people, and just lots of amazing things. So we want to really just kind of talk about your journey. How did you start? What interests you in food?
Well, I didn't even realize that I was interested in cooking. I started cooking more often when I was in college. Like when I was in grammar school and high school, I did like tacos with my friends at sleepovers, but I never really learned how to cook until I went to school. And it was really just at the beginning, like out of pure desperation, because the food at Carbondale, the cafeterias I didn't love. So I spent freshman year eating cheesy bread and hot wings. And I tell that story all the time because it was like, I can't eat this. I can't eat this for another year. And when I moved into my second dorm sophomore year, we had kitchens. So I said, well, I'm not paying for a meal plan. I'm just going to cook. And so I started making hamburger helpers. And that was the upgrade. And then I started to try to make like hamburger helper things on my own. So like lasagna and Alfredo. And my friends really began to love like some of the things that I would create. So I just started having fun when I first started cooking. It wasn't like I took it seriously or anything like that. And then I would start traveling for spring break, which is during my birthday, and picking up different recipes at restaurants that I wanted to go to for dinner. Mm-hmm. And I would bring those recipes back to school and I would try it and everybody would love it. So it just became this known thing, like Chanel know how to make some good food. And in the process of studying and being in college, I lost my brother to senseless gun violence in Chicago. And cooking was one of the things that I found really gave me some type of a relief. Mm-hmm. It felt like I was building my own coping skill through cooking, and an energy that I felt when I was cooking and then sharing that food back with my friends felt so good, because for a while I just felt empty. I wasn't eating myself, and cooking just really kind of brought me back to life and helped me see things differently. So I kept cooking. And after I graduated with my master's in social work, I didn't have a job, and I was trying to figure out, what am I going to do next? And will I have a job? I have all these bills. And I just had a moment with God where I realized that I have to look within, and I realized that I had a gift of cooking, that people love my food, they love to ask me to cook for them. And I was like, I'm going to open a restaurant. And then I realized that I didn't have any money at all. So I just couldn't stop thinking about food and like how I could do it. I made a menu. I told all my family about it. And then I just kept thinking about it, concepts and ideas, and I would dream about it. And one day I woke up like, Dreamyvents Catering. I could start a catering company. And I literally just started telling my friends and different people that I cook, I cater, and they would give me a shot at cooking for their parties. I would go to pop-up shops and things like that. And I really love doing that. But the more that I cook, the more that I realize that my food is healing. It's not only really good, but it's healing. And I've touched so many people through cooking, and that is part of why I really wanted to pursue cooking full time. So after I finally did get a job in my career as a social worker, I left it and I started to pursue cooking full time. And here I am 8 years later.
Wow.
And this is my life.
Yes. And so where do you go? I mean, you have all sorts of catering jobs. Just tell us some of the places and some of the people maybe that you've actually had an opportunity to cook for besides me.
Yes, absolutely. And I had such a good time cooking for you. I'm so glad you enjoyed my food.
Yeah.
I have had the opportunity to experience places all over the country and even internationally. In February, I did a wedding dinner in Mexico. I also went to LA and I got a chance to cook for rapper Travis Scott. Next week, I'm going to be in LA for 420. I'm going to be doing an infused brunch and dinner, which I'm really excited about.
Wow.
A 4-course dinner. So that's going to be really fun. And then I'll leave straight from LA and go to Atlanta, where I'll be on set for a short film called Robin Hood. And I'm going to receive my first IMDb credit through Dreamyvents Catering for crafty services on set.
That is awesome. Wow.
Thank you so much.
I'm really excited for you.
Thank you. God is so good. I'm so excited as well.
Chanel, I hear the tone in your voice, and you sound really excited, really inspired. It sounds to me, it sounds like you inspire yourself.
Well, oh my God, I literally do. I was just talking about my higher self right before I got on this call with you, and I literally look within and find everything that I need to understand. We listen for God's voice, but God speaks to us through us. Right. And so it's important that we listen to ourselves and our intuition and not ignore the voices that we have inside that says, get up and do this, or try this, or do this. Because if you do, you will begin to mute yourself. Right. You won't believe in yourself. You won't have that confidence to go after your dreams when nobody else believes in you. So you have to believe in yourself. And I have learned that in great experiences and disappointing experiences. But all the same, it's been an opportunity to learn. And so I'm just really inspired. Yesterday, I attended Womanish exhibit ceremony where I received a grant of $5,000 to put into my business. So I'm really like on a high right now. And I feel so good about just embracing who I am right now.
You look like it. Did you attend a culinary arts school?
No, I received my bachelor's in psychology, master's in social work, and jumped full into cooking. And it's so crazy because this is a testimony. If anybody want to hear one, to be able to create a path for yourself and create life that you want to live, just by having a skill that you believed in, it just lets me know that honestly, like, we could do anything that we want to do in this life if we put the time in. And I heard from one of my favorite entrepreneurs that in your 7th year of business, you will begin to see success and consistency in your endeavors as long as you practice that same consistency. And I really am starting to feel that creeping up on this 8th year in June, that, you know, as long as I stay consistent, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Well, just to let you know, since you're on that spiritual vein, you know that number 7 is the number of completion, and 8 is new beginnings. You know that. So
I did know 8 was new beginnings, but
8
that
is new
just
beginnings. So I'm not gonna prophesy, right now. But I just want you to know 8 is new beginnings. So you know what to expect. This 8th year. So you keep speaking it. It's definitely going to come. You said you're going to Carbondale, or you're coming from Carbondale?
I attended I attended SIU, Southern Illinois
okay.
University in Carbondale.
Okay.
And that was in 2000, from 2006 to 2013.
Okay. Now this is going to be a 2-part, because you talked about your situation with your brother, the passion of your brother, and your cooking. I'm going to ask you this: what inspired you to cook, and is cooking therapeutic?
So I was inspired to cook because I really didn't love the food at school, and it just made me want to learn. And I didn't imagine that I would continue to find inspiration in cooking.
Wow.
But after I realized that cooking was therapeutic, I was inspired to continue, because it wasn't just therapeutic for myself. I have people that reached out to me whose friend had a miscarriage and they want to cheer them up, and they just wanted me to do a delivery, or their husband got out of the hospital from a surgery and they know it would cheer them up. So I know that the food is therapeutic, and I also know that energy is transferable.
Right.
And in all of my food, you can feel that energy. And I in my own personal life, really focus on healing on a daily basis. And I'm just so grateful that people come to me for a meal to not only like taste good, but to nourish their souls. That's so deep and real to me.
Well, yeah. I'm coming next week, and I'm feeling kind of sad. So I don't know. And when I don't say I'm coming to Chicago, I say I'm coming home. I'm from Chicago myself. Do you have a spot, or you just, like you say, you just pop-ups?
Yes, I am a mobile catering company and a traveling personal chef. Okay. So I go wherever I'm needed, but I do use a shared kitchen space. The goal is for me to acquire funding to open a space where I can work out of. Okay. Right now, I just want to open a cafe, a very what do I want to say? A very open concept that has a lot of duality, where I could do pop-ups and different concepts, because I'm always wanting to do something different. I don't like doing the same thing every day in the same kind of way. Right. So I would want a space that we could continue to inspire and do fun things out of. But I can see myself, later on in the future, opening a high-end restaurant that I feel like we are missing in the culture. Right. I want to cater to people and shower them with feeling so good. Like, I want you to feel like you at your bougie grandma house when you come to my restaurant. Your grandma who gonna make you take your shoes off at the door, but she gonna give you anything you want once you come inside. So wow. I want to put that in my community. I feel like that's something that's missing from the community, a high-end quality restaurant where you trust the process of your food being made, you trust the ingredients, and you just enjoy the overall experience and service.
Okay, all right, I appreciate that.
So you do meal planning also. So you meal plan, and then I also want to talk a little bit about what you do with the children, with the kids. So
yes,
I know that you really go pretty deep, like with this, in terms of even allergies, the things that you're preparing for the kids. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so with Feed the Kiddos, it started this summer out of a few different things. And this is another thing that, this is another testimony on how healing food is, because during the same week that I started Feed the Kiddos, it was not too long after my grandmother died, and I was just at home and just, going through the motions. And I think that just was the spark of the flame Then Lori Lightfoot closed down CPS schools, which were being used as food distribution centers for children. And though it was temporary, I had already posted what I was doing and received over $1,000, and I had already started shopping. So I was like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And I just kept doing it because I would get online and see that there was a need for food. I saw so many different organizers in the community doing food mutual aids in the South Side and West Side communities, and I felt like they needed my help. So I would continue to do Feed the Kiddos. We would prepare, me and the volunteers would prepare the meals. We would do at least 200 meals a week, 200, sometimes 500, depending on the amount of donations that we had and the amount of volunteers that we had. And we would look online. I would find all of these different food mutual aid support groups and organizers, and I would make a schedule for the week, and we would do deliveries and just split the food up to all of the different places and just show up with the food. And that led to so many different amazing collaborations and connections. I was featured on USA Today, the Kelly Clarkson Show, and so many other local write-ups in the city of Chicago. And I'm still just blown away that just being myself and feeding the kiddos is something that is so celebrated, but it's really a huge need for that space in the community and really in the entire world. And I feel like, you know, as long as God blesses me to do this and provide me with the resources, I'm going to continue to try to put into that space. I'm right now organizing a food drive-by for the kiddos. I'm just trying to make the time to do it because I'm just all over the place. And when I did Feed the Kiddos, I literally did it for 3 months straight, and I didn't really work during that time. So when I started back going to work, I hit the ground running.
Yeah. Wow. So if you could give anyone just some wisdom, one of your, actually I want to back up. You have a favorite quote, I think. A favorite quote. I see it on some of your things. Can you tell us what that quote is?
Is it in an email?
Yes, yes. I think that's
okay. It may be when you give people your food, you give them your heart.
your cooking classes. So where can we actually find you? And so will you travel for cooking classes? What will you do? How could you do that?
Yes, I do offer cooking classes, and I do travel so I can come to you. Or if you need help finding a space, I've helped a lot of people connect with venues where they would want to host their cooking classes. And I also offer virtual cooking classes.
Mm-hmm. How can we find you? Give us your social media.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be at this point where I'm able to talk about doing what I love and sharing my story and inspiring others while inspiring myself. So thank you so much for this. You guys can find me at www.dreamyventscatering.com. That's DREAMYVENTS catering.com. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Dreamyvents Catering.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You have a new friend on Facebook now.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so
All right,
much.
thanks.
Make sure y'all like me on Facebook.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we will.
We will. Yeah, absolutely.